Hi VC, it's Aaron, Meet the Almer. Today I'm going to count down my top 30 records of 1993. Now, these are all albums that I have on physical format, so there's a few that are left off, and I don't have nearly as many on vinyl. This is where it starts declining for me, the vinyl, how much I have. But there's a mixture of cassettes, CDs, and vinyl on this. In my opinion, this is where music started to tail off a bit, where there wasn't so much great stuff. But every one of these 30 is a great record, even though the number 30 is a really good one. And my list will start shrinking now a little bit. Like they started small in the 60s, got bigger, blew up in the 80s and early 90s, and now they're starting to go down because there's still some great music, but just not as much, not as many bands putting out great albums. So I'll get started here with number 30, and number 30 is Aerosmith, Get a Grip. Now this was a huge success for them, had a bunch of big hits on it, but it's never really been one of my favorite Aerosmith records. It's a little more commercial, but there's still some great stuff on here. I like the song Eat the Rich a lot, but there's those big hits that get all overplayed. But other than that, it's still a solid record. Next at 29, I got the Spaghetti Incident from Guns N' Roses. This is a really good covers compilation. It's really a solid record. It's not as good as their Appetite for Destruction, of course, or Lies, or Use Your Illusions even, but it's still got some solid stuff on here. I really like their version of Raw Power is killer. They do a really good version of Hair of the Dog, Black Leather. There's some great stuff. Buick McCain is really cool. This is really good. I really enjoy this. It's a solid covers album. Okay, at number 28, this is I Mother Earth with Dig. Really good, kind of alternative hard rock metal. Good stuff here. Solid all the way through. Little industrial sounding at times. Good stuff. I Mother Earth. Number 27, I've got the Scorpions with Face the Music. Now this is a really good Scorpions record. It's nowhere near as good as their 70s or 80s stuff, but I like this a little better than Crazy World, the previous album, and it's still got some solid songs. Scorpions still rock on it. Great album. Okay, at number 26, Nirvana, In Utero. Now, I like Nirvana, but I've never really loved Nirvana, so their albums aren't as high on my list as other people. But this is a classic album, of course. It's got some great songs, but Heart-Shaped Box, Pennyroyal Tea, it's all really good. It's just not one of my top 25 of the year. So I got Nirvana at 26. Number 25, one of my favorite bands, and this is a really solid record. This is The Battle Rages On from Deep Purple. Love this record. I mean, it's still really good. It's after Ritchie Blackmore, of course, but it's got some great stuff on it. It's a really good listen. I like that album a lot too. Okay, number 24. This is kind of an alternative hard rock, Candlebox. Now, I always liked this album, but it's kind of a little mellower than what I'm used to, but it's still, really good. It's got You on it, and, Far Behind was a huge hit. I actually saw them live. They were pretty good live. So I'll put Candlebox at number 24. Number 23, and a lot of people are going to have this in their top 5, but to me it's really good, but I'm just not as big of a fan of this band as a lot of people are. Undertow from Tool. This is a good, solid record. I mean, it's their debut, amazing stuff. Everyone knows this. Sober was a huge hit, and this is a great jumping off point for them. Really good stuff. Like I said, every one of these I like a lot, so I wouldn't have them on my list if I didn't like them. Okay, number 22, which I like better than the Spaghetti Incident. This is Believe in Me from Duff McKagan. The bass player from Guns N' Roses does all the vocals. I think this is a really solid album. I don't like it nearly as much as that one over there, Izzy Stradlin and the Juju Hounds, but this is a good, solid record. Believe in Me, good killer rock and roll there. Love it. Number 21, this is a soundtrack, and it's got amazing songs on it. Last Action Hero soundtrack. I love this soundtrack. One of my favorite soundtracks, probably my top 10. Trick or Treat's always my favorite. I like the Shocker soundtrack a little better, but this is right up there. This has got, it's got Alice in Chains and Megadeth and Queensryche and Anthrax and, Tesla. All great bands, so it's really good. Okay, now I'm into my top 20 now. And at number 20, this is I Think I'm Gonna Be Sick by Dandelion. Love this band, kind of a underground band, hard rock, punkish metal, I guess you'd call it. Really good stuff here. Love this album. What's that first song I love? They're all good. Waiting for a Ride. I love that song. But this whole album, I used to listen to this a lot, and I just haven't heard it so much because I don't listen to my tapes as much anymore, but it's a great album. Love that. Number 19. This is a really cool one. I've just got into this. My good friend Chris Profi bought me this on CD when he visited, and this is Sepultura with Chaos AD. This is a rockin' heavy beast of a record. Love this album. Killer guitar work, killer drumming. I love the crunchiness. Just killer metal. I love that Sepultura. That's one of my favorite Sepultura records, actually. I really like that. Okay, number 18, one of my favorite artists, and this is Danzig with Thrall, Demon Sweat Live. So this is like half, Thrall is the studio side and Demon Sweat Live is live, and it's really good. When Death Had No Name is killer. This has some bonus stuff in Mother 93 and a live version of How the Gods Kill, which I love, and this is such a great record. Love this. I absolutely love this record. Okay, at number 19, or was that 19? No, this is 17. I'm all mixed up. Number 17 here, I got Bastards from Motorhead. Of course, it's a great record from Motorhead. Every song is by them, no covers on this. Lemmy's great. This is a killer record. Love this all the way through. You know, how can you go wrong with Motorhead? They're amazing. Number 16, this is a really cool record. I really love this, and I don't really see it that often. I'd love to find this on vinyl. This is Quiet Riot with Terrified. This is their album after the one with Paul Shortino, and Kevin DuBrow comes back, and this album kicks ass. Love it. It's amazing. I love every song on this. Heavy. It might be one of their heaviest records they've ever done. It's really good. Okay, at number 15, I've got this really good record here. This is amazing. This is Fight with a Small Deadly Space. The second Fight record. Love this album. Rob Halford is killer on it. This is heavy as hell. Amazing record. Love this. And this is at number 15. Number 14. One of my favorite bands. I don't have either of theirs on vinyl. One of my biggest grells is their first one. I don't think this one's ever put on vinyl. This is Wake Up Screaming from Every Mother's Nightmare. Love this band. And man, this is such a good album. You know, House of Pain, Closet Down the Hall. Slip and Fall is one of my favorites on here. Love this album. Killer. If you like the first Every Mother's Nightmare, this is almost as good. Not quite. This first one's a little better. But that's really good. Number 13. Amazing band. Death with Individual Thought Patterns. Love this album. Of course, it's kind of like death metal-ish stuff, but it's really good. The instrumentation is amazing. Love the singing. Really great album. I'm really getting into Death lately. I like them a lot. And that's at number 13. Number 12. The third album from this great band. I have the first one on vinyl. I'm trying to find the rest of them. Saigon Kick with Water. Love this album. They do a really cool version of Space Oddity on here, but that's not even one step closer. You know, this is just a great album. On and On. Sergeant Steve. Saigon Kick is a great band. Killer band from Florida. Love this album. Number 11. I saw them on tour for this record. I think this is a very underrated record. This is Zaza from Bullet Boys, their third record, and I love this one. When Pigs Fly is one of my favorite Bullet Boys songs, but this whole thing is really good. It's got a couple kind of ballad type songs, but they actually do them really well, and this is a killer record. Wish they put this out on vinyl too. That's a great one. So now I'm into my top 10. All these are absolute classics. I think this whole 30, they're all really good. So, okay, at number 10. The Debut from Brother Cane. Love this band, love this album. And when I first heard this, it totally blew me away. It's kind of that bluesy hard rock metal that I love. And this is a great album. I think it's their best. I've got 3 of theirs, and this is my favorite. Love this album. I can't tell you how much I used to listen to this. Great stuff there. Number 9, another album I used to listen to a lot. Sister Whiskey with Liquor and Poker. This is a great, in the same vein as Brother Cane, but not the same. It's a little different. This is more like Four Horsemen type. Amazing record. Love this album. Every song on it just flows really well. They got hard rockers. They got, just some ballad stuff, but it's all gritty, like bluesy gritty at the same time. So it's really good. Love that. Number 8. This is another band in that same vein. A lot of bands were like really bluesy, killer hard rock at this era, and I love those. Those are some of my favorite stuff. This is Cry of Love with Brother. Love this album. Man, it's so good. Highway Jones and Hand Me Down. Gotta Love Me is one of my favorites. Peace Pipe is killer. Bad Thing. I love every song on this record. Very underrated. Very hard to find on vinyl. I wish I could find it. It's so good. Love Cry of Love. Okay, at number 7. This is a heavy record. Love this. Kind of a mixture of thrash and glam metal in a way. This is Strip Mind with What's in Your Mouth. Of course, it's got Sully Erna on the drums from Godsmack. This is his band before Godsmack. Amazing record. I love this album. Every song I love on it. Just killer. Okay, number 6. My favorite album from probably my 3rd or 4th favorite grunge band. Love this album. This is Versus from Pearl Jam. And it's always been my favorite Pearl Jam record. I just love every song on it, starting with Go and Animal and Daughter. It just keeps going. Rearview Mirror, Leash, Indifference, one of the best ballad type songs ever. I love Indifference. This is a great record. Number 5, a band that a lot of metal guys hate, but this album here, one of my favorite albums of all time, Pull by Winger. This album is so much better than their first 2. I like the first 2 a lot, but this one is so much better. It's like it's got more edgy, it's almost progressive at times. It's really good. Blind Revolution Mad is amazing. In My Veins, Junkyard Dog, Down Incognito. Every song is great on this. I love this album. Number 4, kind of one of my favorite bands, but kind of not. So what happened is Death Angel broke up for a while after they got in a tour bus accident, and the rest of the members, minus the singer, put out this album, The Organization. This is number 4. And the guitarist, Rob Cavastani, does the vocals, and it's amazing. It's not as thrash, it's more just straight metal, but it's so good. I love this album, The Organization. Every song is good. The vocals are great. It's not Mark Ossegata from Death Angel, but he does a great job on this. And, stuff like Brainstorm is such a killer, trippy song. Amazing record, The Organization, number 4. Number 3, love this album. I don't think it's ever been put out on vinyl. Magic and Madness from Circus of Power. This is an amazing record. It's my favorite album they did. It's got, starts with Swamp Devil. It's got Heaven and Hell with Jerry Cantrell. It's got, what's the song? Shine with Ian Astbury. But every song, Mama Tequila, I love that song. Love every song on this. Circus of Power, Magic and Madness, number 3. Number 2, one of my favorite bands of all time. And this was the first album with this singer. This is Anthrax with The Sound of White Noise. I love this album. I love the early stuff the best, but this era I love just as much, almost as much. This is a killer album. I love High Pro Glow. Every song's killer on this. Potter's Field, Room for One More, Package Rebellion. Amazing record. Anthrax at number 2. And at number 1 is the debut for my favorite band. This is when they started, and they've kept this era of music going, I think, and put out great music. Clutch, Transnational Speedway League, one of only 2 Clutch records never released on vinyl. It's an amazing album. Their most gritty, heavy record they ever did of a full length. It's so good. Shogun A. Marcus, Benjamin Purge. It's got Rats on here. El Jefe Speaks is amazing. Every song, Heirloom. Great debut. Amazing record. And they need a vinyl release. Killer stuff there. So that's my 1993. I'm going to go to 94. Keep going, and they might shrink down a little more. There's going to be more CDs. I'll still throw in the vinyl when I have it. Going to be more tapes and CDs. That's what I have from these years coming up. So everyone have a great one, and I will see you next time.